welcome. This is Ruth, and today I've got Tonic Studios kit number 86. So let's just open the box and see what's inside it, because I think you're really going to love this one. We've got the little grey bag of joy. We've got the dies and bits and pieces in there, and then this little folder which tells us what's inside it. Oops, that was actually inside the little folder and I took it out, but now you've seen it. Let's just open this as well. So first of all, I've got the Craft Perfect folder here, and again this is a big A4 folder, and we've got lots of really beautiful sparkly card inside here. So you can see already this is a Christmas launch. It's called a Cracking Christmas Box, and it's a kind of a cracker box, so hence the name. And this is white writing on top of a sort of a creamy coloured folder, so this is quite difficult to make out for me, but I'll tell you what's here. Two pieces of craft card, which is this one. That's fantastic for all sorts of things, but it's actually a more rustic kind of thing, and it's absolutely gorgeous if you just combine that with some of the more classic and classy kinds of cards as well, because quite often we keep this one to sort of plain card, but it's really beautiful if you combine it with this. I'll read it off here for you as well. Craft card, two pieces of that. Copper Mine mirror card, Chrome Silver mirror card, Harvest Gold mirror card, Cosmic Copper pearlescent card, Luna Silver pearlescent card, Welsh Gold glitter card, and Espresso Brown classic card. So two pieces of the craft card and one piece of everything else. Now wait to see these dies. I'll show you this in just one tick. This is the folder here, and inside you're going to get your sticker for the front of the folder, and I'm just going to pop that on there, and then every time I come back and look through all my little packets, I'm going to know what's inside that one. I think I might actually even write the number on that. I've started to do that lately. So first of all, we have two little sheets of dies, and these are all the pieces that make up your Christmas cracker or your Christmas cracker gift box. So you'll get instructions with yours. I don't seem to have it with mine, but I can check that anyway. And we've got all the pieces here, and you should have a cut list of how many pieces you need to cut to make your little box. There are side panels and all sorts of things. This would be the base as far as I can see, and then these little pieces for going around the side. Of course, when you look through this, you're going to see Noel and the little backing plate. You've also got Joy and the backing plate, and Believe, yes, and the backing plate. Love here as well, and I think that one doesn't even have any Christmas stuff on it, so you can use that for all sorts of things. Anyhow, you know that you can use all those for all sorts of things, as well as just what's in this kit. We've also got a gorgeous holly leaf, some berries, a little sprig here, and all sorts of bits and pieces that you could add together. That is a really beautiful little debossing die there. See those little details on it? Really cute. And you've got a circle, and I'm sure that's a fantastic size for lots of things. And look, a lovely little piece here that would look like a little window. This is a little triangle, which also would look like it would serve a purpose for maybe a little bit of bunting or something like that. And then of course a little star. So you have lots and lots of things that you can play with there. Now let's have a look at this, because this is really lovely. We've got foil fusion. There are 4 sheets of this foil fusion inside, and they come in a little packet, and my first advice would be to keep them very carefully in that packet, because you don't want these to get damaged before you use them. They are all the same, and they're really beautiful, and I know lots of you absolutely love this stuff by now, but some of you have been asking for sentiments. So we've got Christmas wishes, 'tis the season, season's greetings, the 25th December, and Merry Christmas, and then this one for love. Sorry, this one with love, and this one just for you, and it's got the little tree above that, which you can use together or use those singly as well. So just be very careful that you don't damage them, because you want them to stay on that carrier sheet until you're going to use them. But they're really beautiful. And that leads me on to what's inside this little bag. Well, if we've got foil fusion sheets, you know that we've now got some foil. So this is polished gold, and this is a new colour and this is called Copper Mine. It goes beautifully with those colours and the card and whatnot that's in there, but this is a brand new one and you're getting to try it first. It's gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. I love all those coppery tones. And then to go in with that one as well, we've got some glimmer paste. And this is, let's see, bronze metal. So have a look at that, all that glittery goodness in there as well. We've got two little sponge daubers, and we've also got this, and this is now Blush Rosette, and it's an aqua marker, an aqua shimmer marker. So I'll show you that later on. I'm going to use that for a little bit. But you basically just open this up, take that little yellow ring out, and then pop the pen together again. Then you can press on these pieces here. It actually says press, so how could you go wrong? And then you just, to activate that, you're going to, well, first of all, these bristles are quite sort of firm, and then you just need to press them to get that softened up a little bit. Press in at the sides here, and that will bring down some of the lovely coppery colour. And look at that. And you can spread that as thinly as you like onto your card whenever it dries. It's absolutely great for highlights, but whenever that dries, it has the most beautiful shimmer. So you can use that for sort of light, delicate colouring if you want. That is absolutely gorgeous on flowers and leaves and berries and all sorts of stuff like that. It's very, very easy to apply. Don't forget, keep it back with the lid on and keep it safe, and use it a lot over this time. That's great. Now I'm going to do some die cutting, and I'll be right back. One thing before I do go. Now, lots of things have changed in the crafty world, and I think I've said this in some videos, but I made them quite a while back, and they haven't even been shown yet because they were for launches that are still coming up, and they're still in the pipeline, and hopefully you'll see those maybe next week. But these videos, I don't actually have to make them. I'm just making them for you and me. I'm not making them for Tonic. So as I said, things have changed. I want my channel to be with all of my own makes on it, and I'm trying to keep them all there for the meantime anyhow. That's the way I like it, and I hope that's what you like too. But that means I really, really appreciate it when you support my channel in one way or another. First of all, just by watching, that really, really helps. But you could help my channel along a lot more by subscribing to it and hitting that notification bell. That really helps. And then if you're enjoying the videos as you go along, you wouldn't really realize how much that helps my channel and me personally if you just give a thumbs up at the bottom. You know, whenever you're watching it, if you're enjoying it, just hit that thumbs up, and that helps. What even helps more is if you leave a little comment and you and I can interact. That definitely helps my channel along too. So that is very much appreciated when you take the time to do that. Now, the last thing before I move on is just to say that my affiliate links for everything that I use will be down below in the description of this video. So when you're watching the video, you'll see the description. Everything's listed down there. There are links. They'll be highlighted in blue. If you come from the UK, just press the one beside UK. If you're coming from UK or the rest of the world actually. But the USA, just click that blue link beside where it says USA. That will take you straight to the website where you can buy the products that you want, and it doesn't cost you anything more, but that will give me a little commission, and that really helps. That will make sure that I can come back and keep giving you lots of videos, and hopefully you'll enjoy those too. Subscribing is free too, so I really appreciate that. Now I'll go and do some die cutting, and I'll be right back. Look what I've been doing. I have loads of die cutting done. A little tip for whenever you're going to cut out something like this, and there's a lot of passes through the die cutting machine, try to work out which panels you need, and then you can cut those out at the same time as you're cutting out the actual side pieces. And if you're going to make a second one, cut out those pieces as well, because the more you can fit onto your A4 plate, that's assuming you're using a tangerine, the better, because if you have them all well taped down, they'll not move about, and you can die cut lots and lots of pieces at the one time. Anyhow, I'm doing the gift box first of all, so I'll just set that aside there. And I've cut out 6 of these panels. So this is the outside. That's made with this die here. And then I have used the dies that go into the centre of that. I've cut that out 6 times, as I said. And I have taken these dies here. Now if you have a little look, you can see that I've taped them all together because that's exactly how I passed that through my die cutting machine. I used the long die that has two little debossing lines, one at either end, and then I put these little pieces in here. They've moved slightly now that I've actually finished die cutting 6 of them, but I've put the little holly leaves here and the little stars up here. Now if you really wanted, I suppose you could die cut that with one of them in and then flip it over, and you could have stars at both ends or little holly leaves at both ends as well. But I reckon that a second pass through the die cutting machine might flatten the first ones, so I just did it the same way around. And you'll see that on all of these where I've glued them on, this little piece here as well in the center with the stars, I've kept the tab to one side here and the stars at the top so that they're the same the whole way around. And also when I'm die cutting that means that I've got lots of these little stars, lots of tiny little ones there as well. I didn't keep them all, but I did keep some of them. So that was that part. That's for a different thing altogether. Then I have taken this little die here and I've cut that out 6 times as well. And then I was going to decorate that. So I have taken these 2 little dies together. Now you can see this would cut out a plain panel on its own, and when you put the 2 of them together, it gives you the beautiful shape that I've cut out here, and I've used that in that beautiful copper card. So I have gone ahead, and as you can see, I have them glued onto all of these little pieces, all of those little triangles, and there we are. I'm going to just put the last one on here. Now you can see too that I have actually gone ahead and cut out these pieces and put the panels and all the decorative parts on before I'm actually going to assemble the actual shape, because it's easier to do that at this stage, but it's not the end of the world if you want to leave it and just see what it looks like, but it just makes it a little bit easier. I've also gone ahead and burnished and scored and burnished and folded all the little score lines. Now I've used another die with a little edge on it, that's this one, and I've cut out 6 of these shapes here, and these are all from the craft card. And then I have used this and this together to make the little panels that I've put on top here. I'm just going to set those 2 aside for the moment and concentrate on these ones. And then I have also cut one of these. This is going to be the base, and first of all just make sure that you've got all of these pieces with the tabs facing the right way around, because you don't want to end up one this way and then one this way. If you're not careful, that can sometimes happen. So anyhow, what we're going to do now is glue all of these pieces on here, and it's going to look something like this the whole way right around. Might be easier if you do it this way. Either way, what you're aiming for is putting glue right along this little tab, just like that, and adding this on. I've just flipped it over now, but that's what it looks like on that side. Once that glue has dried, you can go ahead and add glue down to these side panels, and once you've got all of those joined, you're going to have your basic box shape. And it's as easy as that. It's really, really simple actually, but just make sure each little glue tab has adhered properly before you move on to the next one, and check the lines there as well, that you've got them perfectly even before you move on, and then it'll look really, really good at the end. Now we're moving on to these pieces, and these have all got to be attached. So you can see where the glue tab is on this one, and all you need to do is put glue across there, add the flat edge of this one so that the glue tab on this one is down at the bottom here, and it will look like that. Now go ahead and do the 6 of them like that, And when you've got that ready, then we're ready to attach them all onto the little box. The next stage then is to put glue on this little tab and attach this onto the top of the box, and you can see it's actually really beginning to take shape. It's almost there now. Pop that on there and do the same the whole way around with the rest of these, and then we can attach, oops daisies, wait until the glue dries first of all. Okay, take two. There we are, and I'm going to attach them all first, the whole way around there, and then we'll attach that bit. Now that the glue's dry, we can go ahead and attach all these little panels. This isn't even difficult to hold together or anything like that. It's really, really easy. Right again, and that will be your box finished. Once this is done, you can just add some ribbon, twine, or whatever you want around the top of it. Add a little tag, and Bob's your uncle. You could add ribbon or twine or whatever, but I thought because I've used the craft card there that I would use some of that Craft Perfect twine on it, and it looks really, really lovely. It sort of has that kind of rustic feel, although we've got the lovely mirror card on there too. Well, I haven't tied that too well because I think I've got some glue still on my fingers, but you get the drift, and I will tidy that up and come back. I'm actually going to add a little tag onto it anyway at the end. This time I'm going to make the double-ended cracker rather than the box that has the flat base on it. So you don't need to cut this base piece out this time. And you'll go ahead again and cut 6 of these panels. Just zoom you out a little bit. 6 of these panels, but this time you can either use the square, or sorry, the rectangle top, or you could use the same pieces that I've used for this one. But either way, you're going to need 12 of those because you'll have 6 at the top and 6 at the bottom, and then whatever decorative piece you want in there, and you're also going to need 12 of these. So on the 6 panels here, you can see that I have die cut the panel itself, and then I've cut a rectangle with the plate that fits in there, and I've just cut that out of some beautiful paper from the Timeless Tidings paper pad. I have actually gone ahead and well, I'll show you here. I've highlighted that with the beautiful aqua shimmer pen here, so you can see there I've added it on here. Now I will go ahead and show you what I've done. I've actually added the 2 pieces on. Now this is not the way it tells you in the instructions, but this is the way I prefer to do it. So you will add these pieces here, which is this part. You added that to the top of the last box, but obviously this box is going to have a fastening at both ends. So I have added one of these at the top and one at the bottom, and then the rectangle piece at the top. So essentially it's this piece here with these 2 pieces together and added at the top and the bottom. But I've got one here, and I just want to show you how I've highlighted this. I've taken the aqua shimmer pen, I've already got it on here, and I've done this and left the others to dry just a little bit. But if you this paper is uncoated, so it's perfect for this. Just add some extra shimmer and some extra detail to highlight some of those areas there. So I've picked out a kind of coppery looking bauble anyway and highlighted it, and then I've added some onto some of the holly leaves. So it's not a very how would we put it, it's not very in your face, so to speak, but it's very subtle, and it glows and shines whenever you move the box around a little bit. It's really lovely, and it's really just used to add some highlights, and you can add them to whichever parts you like, but I just do that now and then leave that aside for a little moment or two to dry, and then I'm good to go straight after that once those dry. So altogether I've got 5 of these panels made, and it takes 6 to make up the cracker. So I'm going to show you something slightly different. I'm going to use the foil fusion on the 6th one and add it in once I've got all of these other panels ready to go. I've got this plain panel and I've made sure that's nice and clean, and I'm going to add the foil fusion on there. So if we've got a pattern that's going one direction in this, actually it probably would have been better for me to use the other paper or the patterned panel on this one, and then have this one the other way around with a directional pattern on it, because on this one the ends are actually slightly different, because one's facing the same way as the panel and the other's facing the opposite. Anyway, it's not a big deal, but just bear that in mind if your pattern's even bigger. So if you've got the directional pattern there, you're obviously wanting to make sure that you've got a directional pattern here when you come to add the foil fusion. So I am going to put on this Just For You, and I think I'll use it With Love as well. So I'm going to cut that off from my sheet here, just like that, very, very carefully. And then I just checking that that fits and everything's straight. Yeah, that's just the way I want it there. So this is the part where you have to be very, very careful with this. Take the backing off very carefully and set this straight down onto there. Whenever you remove the backing from this, try to grab a part that doesn't have any adhesive on the back of it, and just lift it like that, and don't touch the underside of it. Now whenever you come to put that down, just set it straight down, you can't move it again, and you're good to go. So now all you need to do is burnish that on here and make sure every little bit of that is attached to the card on the underneath of it. Whenever that's all attached, peel that backing off and you're left with the part that you actually add the foil on top of. Now I have got my foil here, and I'm going to cut off a piece that just fits over the top of that. And set this down foil side up so the colour is facing upwards, and burnish again until that's attached. And now I can go ahead and just add these sides on and make the cracker up in exactly the same way as I made the last one, except that I'm adding these little pieces at the top and the bottom. Just so easy to put together, because once you get it to that stage, I've joined all the center panels. You just need to attach all of these panels together, and then these ones together here, and then just fold the whole thing around and attach the last seams down here. Doesn't that look really, really lovely with all that pattern around the outside of it, and then this beautiful foiled piece in the center? Look at the shine off that. So that's a cracker. Okay, yeah, that's a cracker. And it opens at both ends. You can just take that twine off and open and put whatever else in you want. And then this one is the box that opens at the top. So there are some little dies here as well that I'm going to use to make little decorations for these little tassel tags and whatnot. So I have already taken this die. These are actually two dies together. I've cut those together in ivory card to match on to this one. I actually think I'll put it on this one. And then I'm going to cut the circle on its own and add a plain backing plate onto that, just to let that one pop a bit. I've got some of the little fronds and little sprigs cut here, and then I've also got some of the holly leaves, as you can see here. I've cut them in the shiny card and the plain one, and then I've got peace as well, and I've got Noel. Someone once said to me one time, why does Noel get so many cards at Christmas? That always makes me smile when I see that. Well, there you are, that's them both finished. I've added little holly leaves on here and little berries, and on here with those little sprigs. Now that's on the back, so I've got the foiling on the front and this on the back. You could use one or the other, or you could use both, and that would look equally beautiful with ribbon instead of the twine that I've got on there. The other thing is there are a few little dies. Let me see, there's one there. Can you see that one? You would just use that on the back of this circle here, or even on one of these, and make that into a little hanging tag as well. So there's lots and lots of different ways that you could use that. I think the glitter card and everything in there is absolutely stunning with that. That would be beautiful as well. So many different ways you can use it. You could even use the glitter card for all of these little pieces as well. And don't forget that the colours in there are just to be used with this, but those colours will be gone when you've finished using that card. And you can use all sorts of things on this, and they're going to be beautiful. This is going to be one of those sets that you'll mark and keep fairly handy, and I can be pretty sure that you're going to use this year after year. So I've come to the end of my video. That's me finished for now. I've just got to go and take some photos and then edit it, and it'll all be ready for you to watch. But don't forget, check if you've subscribed. If you haven't done that, it's free. Go ahead, do it. You'll help me, and hopefully you'll enjoy watching lots more videos as they come up. If you've enjoyed it, big thumbs up, and all it takes is just a little thank you, I like that, or whatever, a little comment at the end. It means the world to me as well. And again, my affiliate links don't cost you anything extra, but I get commission from that, and it helps me along, helps me come back and give you more videos and more things as well to watch. So thank you so much for watching, and in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye. Just whenever we thought it was safe and it was time to go, and I was just about to clear up, I realised that I actually did have the instructions. They had been sent to me. I hadn't looked at them, and then I realised there actually was another way of making this. So we've got this little one with the base on it here and the top, and it opens here, and then this one that opens at both ends, and then the little piece that I showed you that I thought was to be used for a bauble. In fact, it actually could be as well, because we've got a little rounded edge one. This has a little flat straight line across there, and there is a little rounded one as well. And you just pop that on, and that would be a little tag, and put another piece on over the back to cover the back of it, and that's that sorted. But this was actually supposed to be a little closure for a different cracker. So let's have a little look at this one first of all. These are just the side panels and the little, what I call a little bow tie shape, and then the top. So it's the same top as this, and it's exactly the same cracker as this one, except I haven't glued it to the base. So it's open. This is the long side, and this is the short side. So you'll see both of those dies in the set. There is a long side and a short side. Maybe I should just show you those two. So I have cut out 6 of these outside edges and 6 of these, and then I have cut out 12 of these and 12 of these. Now this is the really easy way of making a cracker, because you can see here on this one I've used 300 GSM ivory smooth card, and then I've cut out panels of paper to go on top. This one here I've used the craft card, and then I've used the satin effect card to go on top. This one here, there's no layering whatsoever. This is double-sided paper from the Glad Tidings, Timeless Tidings, sorry, paper pad, and it's dead easy. So these are, I think it's 200 GSM, so it's actually pretty sturdy for a little box as well, but you can add more onto it if you want after that. Anyhow, that means now that we've got a short piece and a longer piece. Let's see, you can see the difference there. So I have taken one of these little pieces here, and I have glued it right up to just that little score line on, can you see that? It's right there. put a piece of card in behind it and you can see it better. So it's right there. Now this shorter piece then will fit on over the longer piece. I think I've put that little tab at the back and my bows are at the front. So I just want to be sure I get this in the right place. So that then will fit on over here, and you can, well, I think the idea is actually that you have it at this size, but I'm reckoning that you could actually have that just wherever you wanted. You could have it stopping there, or you could move it up. Anyway, I'm going to make it just slightly bigger than this one, just for yeah, just about there. So I am now going to glue this little piece on just by, you see that little score line there? I'm just going in behind that. And I have got this piece just wherever I want it there, and I'll pop that down in there. See how those two little holes then line up? It's probably hard to see that because of the patterned paper, but those two little holes will line up now. I'll just pop that there and then turn this up. And I have made myself a little roll of card. So it's just a tiny little twirled up piece of card, very, very thin. And I've turned it around with my quilling tool and put some glue on it. And that will just fit right down in between those two little holes like that and keep that in place. I hope you can see that. There it is, just right there. So you could actually add a little bow or a little bit of ribbon, but I reckoned because I had ribbon here and here that I didn't really want any more ribbon on it. So that's how that's going to look. You can have this at the top or this way, it doesn't really matter, whatever way it goes, because either way is nice. And I'm just going to glue this on here. So I've cut the circle out again in the patterned paper this time, and I have just put Joy right across there, and I'm going to put it here because it kind of covers where the two pieces are, but I'm not going to glue it any further than the base of this one here. And there we are. So there's where my little piece stays. There's where my little bit of this goes. This needs to be thick enough so that it will hold that in place and not fall out. Just like that. And there you are. And I might even put a little holly leaf or something. I've got two here, so I think I'll add those on as well. Just like that. I have definitely finished now. You can definitely, there's no more, except I'm going to put a lot of photographs at the end. I've already taken a lot of photographs of these two, and I'm going to take some photos of this one, and there will be lots at the end of the video. Happy Christmas, that's all there is left to say. Thank you, thanks for watching.